Hey, guess what we're playing? We're playing Minecraft again. It's my favorite type of video. A barely default resource pack update video. Yeah, I don't know what happened. What's been happening? I've just been like really frantically updating my pack. We're in a little village right now where I was going to show up the first feature, but I guess this is kind of an obvious one I changed. This is a common feature people do. I've done it before in my pack, but before I changed all the birch trees to have this color, which I thought was a bit too much. So what I've done now is I've done it only for forest biomes, and forest biomes are pretty common. So if you have a forest, it won't be just green anymore. It'll have these. I think this is really beautiful, you know. And then here's like a transitioning phase, so you can see that the birch trees are still green in most other biomes, you know. And actually, what's very exciting, in flower biomes, I made them pink. Yeah, I think that's nice. I think it's a nice change. I think it's cute. I might tweak the color still, because obviously this is just a right now it's just a pink, in this case pink tint on top of a grayscale texture, which makes the I would like it if the pink was even more pink, you know. So I might tweak this in the future. But for now, this is a cool, cute little change specifically to flower forest, right? So they're a little bit more special. I like it a lot. And in dark forest, I made them have this red hue that you can see here. I think it's cool. It's like it's basically, these are basically dark oak trees, right? Like I made the acorn, or like the sapling for the dark oak tree, just a dark acorn, right? Because this is dark oak, and I think it's cool. So, you know, just a darker shade, kind of like red. And this is actually, birch trees sometimes have this shade of red, right? Anyways, so yeah, might tweak the colors, but for now I think this is a very cool feature. And now let's get back to that village that we were at, right? I don't know why I want to film this part in the village. I don't even know if it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't need to be in the village. It's just, I don't know, whatever. This is what I thought of. Okay, get off my back, mom. Jeez, god damn it. Okay, so I've made redstone torches. Have a really cool technique. This is a really cool technique. I'm a really big fan of this sort of technique. This is an inverted cube, and then obviously I made it emissive. So what it means, it's a cube that will only show the insides always and never the outsides of the cube. So it'll always have this weird glow effect around it. I think this works really well for redstone torches specifically, right? And I made it transparent because you can do that with Optifine. And then the texture I think works really well, because this is basically still the same inside of a redstone torch. So I've seen other people do this before, this sort of technique for redstone torch, but I think this is the best iterations I've seen. So I mean, it is, otherwise I wouldn't add it. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I've seen people make better stuff than me. Anyways, that's what I've added, and then obviously you know, also for all these cool little blocks, right? All these, I think it's really cool. You can see through it, you know, and then they kind of like block each other out. I think it's a really cool, it's such a cool way of doing it, you know? I like this a lot. So that's first feature of the changelog. Oh, second, we've done the birch trees already. But canonically, when I'm reading my changelog, I have this whole document, right? This is the first feature, so, you know. Okay, let's see. This is the next feature. I've added a rare variant of honey blocks with a bee still stuck inside of it. There you go. Just a fun little Easter egg, you know. You might run into it and then be like, wait, hold up, you know. And you'd have to build a lot with these. So this is kind of one of those things that might take you years to find in my pack, unless you watch these videos, which you probably should be doing, because then you can tell your friends about this awesome resource pack, and then you can just, you know, fucking build a bunch of honey blocks and suddenly blow their minds, you know. I don't know. I think it's a cool change. Oh. Alright, yeah, that'll do it. And then in mangrove forests, I made the little bee that's stuck inside it. I made it orange, because I made bees in mangrove forests in a previous update of my pack. I made them orange. And I don't know why I did that. I had a dream about it, you know? I had a dream about orange bees in mangrove forests in my pack, and then and then I started googling orange like bees, and they kind of exist, you know, and they're probably kind of jungly, so I just did it, and now it's a feature in my pack, and now there's orange bees in mangrove forest. Now look, they're taking these flowers. That's cool. I didn't know that. Oh wow. Fucking gotta love bees, right? Gotta love them. Anyways, now they're stuck in honey sometimes, so. Next up, I made the beacon beam completely white. I had a really cool beacon model, yeah, and it's really advanced, and then the beacon beam in vanilla just looks like a cube with shading on it, kind of like even, and that doesn't make any sense. I just like a beam, you know, just straight up a white. It's just white. It's the most boring texture I've added. I've literally decreased the amount of pixelation in the game, but in this case I think it's better. Just a white beam coming out of this really cool modeled beacon, you know. I think it's a good thing. I think this is great. Look at how cool this beacon is. Still gotta love that beacon, right? You might have not seen this beacon. This is a cool beacon. Go play Minecraft with my pack. Just saying. So bookshelves in my pack are obviously, it's a multi-part block, so it's a model, and every side has a different model, kind of like, right? I mean, this is the same model used, obviously, but then there are sides like the one here that doesn't have that panel, because that wouldn't work with this texture, and then same for this one, right? It doesn't have that thing here. So yeah, it's random models applied to that's why it's called a multi-part model, right? The more you know, I guess. And I added an extra variant for the random, you know, the random variants that show up. It's this one, you know, with the leaves piling out. These are all taken from Minecraft Dungeons. I think it's a very cool game, and it's Minecraft canon, so I like to just take all that stuff and Minecraftify it, like Java editionify it, or like Bedrockify it, whatever. And add it, you know, try to get it all the canon stuff, try to get it in the game. So these are all the bookshelf variants you find in Minecraft Dungeons, and then I, you know, took the idea and made a bookshelf that fits actual Minecraft, like the same colors, obviously. And then this is what you get, a bunch of random bookshelves. That's a cool thing. I added 3D model support for mangrove trapdoors. This isn't a very exciting change either. I mean, I just made trapdoors, all the trapdoors in my pack 3D. Some of them are like more 3D than others. Like this one isn't that 3D at all, right? This one has some 3D features. It also is see-through, right? It's pretty cool. 3D features again. And then here also, this one has them also. And then this one now has them also. Like, there's just depth to it instead of being a flat texture. It's just keeping up the speed with all the changes, you know? I mean, you add a new wood type, you gotta make some changes, right? So that's what I did. Obviously, I also did the fucking mangrove boat, right? So all my boats have 3D models, and now there's a mangrove boat. All right, that's a big surprise. All right, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I kind of can't enter a mangrove or a warped forest right now without showing off. I mean, the fact that it's purple. So yeah, I made I mean, I won't say too much about it. I'll just acknowledge it, the fact that it's purple, and then I'll keep going on with the video, right? So I added a 3D model, kind of like for warped sprouts, and then also some variants. So then, like, these are warped sprouts, right? And these obviously have 3D block cubes on there. And then there's also variants that don't have the 3D cubes that are like still growing, like that one, right? And that one. Those are two different variants. So not all of them are 3D, so it won't be like a big clutter of 3D in the nether, as I didn't really like that. I tried that, but I didn't really like that. So I added some variants inspired by Minecraft Dungeons. Minecraft Dungeons has a lot more variety in the terrain. I don't know why Mojang never adds it to regular Minecraft, but there you go. I did, you know, custom made and purple for now. Right? I added a few brown mushroom. Well, just a few fungus. All the funguses have a few variants now, right? So the brown mushroom now is a variant where it's tilted and then it's rotated in all the ways. And I thought brown mushrooms were kind of static in my pack. They kind of all were facing up, and then this adds the perfect amount of, like, this is what my pack needed. Just like the tilted mushrooms is such a vibe. And then I also added small variants for the brown mushroom as well. So yeah, it's just a bit more natural, you know. It just feels a little bit better. And then obviously, I mean, the warped fungus uses the same model, basically. I mean, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit bigger, the warped fungus, as the brown mushroom. So I just added tilted variants, just made sense, and a small version of it, right? It's cute, variety, makes it look more natural. I think it's great. Another elephant in the room. I made the spots in warped forest on these warped blocks. I made them blue because crimson blocks already have wait, what do you call it? Oh, nether wart, right? Yeah, nether wart block, right? All right, because crimson nether wart, well, I mean, it won't show up because it's not the crimson biome. But in the crimson biome, it has orange spots, just like the mushrooms do, right? I mean, you can see it on the model. There they have orange spots, but not in this biome, because I made it so that in this biome they would still have the blue spots. So it's kind of a cool vibe, man. Like, it's very, so for some reason I went really deep into the warped forest, and now it's like a super immersive place, which is a cool thing that I'm probably gonna apply to more, right? I mean, yeah. Shroom light is blue to match the blue dots. So I just changed the palette a bit, you know. I mean, a bit, it's purple, but I also made the warped wart just have overlays. Not on top of Nillium though, but on top of Netherrack, and it'll change in a minute. You know, it'll be a Netherrack, all right, like this. See, it has overlays. It's pretty advanced overlays. It'll rarely happen. I think it's cool. It kind of, yeah, I think it's a cool thing. It'll overlay on ores too, I'm pretty sure. No, it doesn't. All right, I guess I didn't want to obstruct the ores. All right. So yeah, that's just a cool. That's a cool thing. Just a little bit of, just so much immersion, right? And then obviously that happens to crimson. Or nether wart as well. netherwart blocks. Note that the netherwart block doesn't have any glowing spots in any other biome than just straight up a warped biome. Because the spots only appear when it's in the biome, right? So you can still use these blocks to you know, the same way you would use your regular blocks. And I'm just gonna do a little spoilery spoil, or like not a little spoiler, but like a little bit of a review. Okay, so the netherwart, or the warped wart forest right now, is purple, obviously. And I'm just gonna reload my packs real quick, because that's when animations in Minecraft reset. Because I added seasons to warped forests. And I think this is the coolest thing ever. And now the animation will be reset. Every time you reload your pack or reload your game, the animation resets. So adding seasons to the overworld is not really a bright idea, I don't think. Because you spend so much time in the overworld building there, you know. And then if you would reload and then you were so immersed in winter and now suddenly it's summer because that's just the first season in the rotation of the animation, you know, sort of thing. That would kind of break your immersion, right? But I figured Warped Forest, there you go, green again, is kind of a place you only just like stumble into. Like me earlier in the video, right, when I just randomly went through a nether portal, having already loaded the game for a while, so technically the animation was making ticks, right? It was like progressing. I don't know how that works, but it just kind of calculated, and that's why it was purple as soon as I entered the nether. So you can just kind of go on a big nether adventure, and then you encounter one, and then you'll find it to be either just the default green color, straight up purple, or any shade in between, right? So, and it's a really freaky, I mean, it's called a warped forest, right? So warping, it kind of works with the theme, I thought. There's Enderman, so purple made sense. There's purple netherwart in Minecraft Dungeons, and you know I want to make everything canon in a way, right? And I thought this was such a great creative way to make it canon, because this biome is so alien, you know, so spooky, and it's so freaky. Like, if you imagine, I mean, I kind of can't do this because I make the pack, but imagine I'm imagining players playing with my pack, you know, going through the nether, and then walking, you know, maybe there's like a really big warped forest, you know, and just being in there for an hour, just fighting mobs and like kind of getting resources and mining and whatever, and then suddenly you look around like, wait, was this always purple? Kind of like this mind fuck, you know, because the animation is so slow, you know. And then, you know, I don't know, and then maybe it turns green again and you're like, what, this is a freaky biome. I don't know, I think it's magical, it's cool. What I did is, the stems, of the warped stems, I guess, they have green lines in them, right? And I didn't change those green lines because they were animated already, so they stay green when the biome is in a transition to purple. But I made sure that the ground has green details, so that the palette of the regular warped, you know, the green, all the green warped stuff, so like the green lines on the trunk here, you know, I made sure that it's still matched in when the biome is in its purple state. Like, this is just all very thought out, well balanced world building I've done for you. So get my resource pack, tell your friends, maybe don't tell them about all the features, you get to surprise them, isn't that fun? Tell streamers to get them. You know, look at all these. Look at this. Added an older update, but you know, when structures spawn in certain biomes, they'll have little details, right? Same for bastions. So yeah. I mean, if you needed more to convince you, there's still a whole video ahead of you, but this is what I've done to Warped Forest. It's pretty grand. I like it a lot. Okay. I've also done some work to the Soul Sand Valley. First of all, I added a random variant to to Soul Soil, which isn't super obvious, but you'll notice that it's a less repeating pattern actually, so that's cool. I also added these random overlays of just like little bubbles, and then in the Soul Sand itself, and this change only happens to Soul Sand in the Soul Sand Valley, right? So you can still use Soul Sand without having little skulls in it. It'll have little skulls, right? I think that's cool. They're overlaid on top of the little scream masks, so they're like little random variants, right? Those are all the same, but there you go, some different ones, right? I mean, isn't that fun? That's cool, right? I like that a lot. It's like a little detail, you know, you're walking around here, you kind of don't want to walk in the Soul Sand anyways, and then you do when you find these just skulls around, you know. It's cool. And then there's the bones, obviously, already. And then the bones have like these variants where they have purple cloth around it. And then piglins that spawn here and skeletons have the same cloth added to their texture as well. That's not in this update. That's just the previous update, but I just figured I'd show it to like show you the detail and immersion. It's not showing up now. It's a variant. Oh, there you go. There he is. Look at him. He's like a little bandit. He has the same, you know. That might have been a guy who did it. That's him. Get him. And then Piglin's, you know, oh, it's the first one. It doesn't look so great with the helmet. I mean, it's fine, but there you go. It's better without. Look at this. He has like a little robe on. You know, when he's in this biome. Isn't that cool? The same colors as that? Man, I'm such a nerd. So hard for this sort of stuff. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to add is I also changed the model of warped sprouts. It's now a little bit more, a little bit thicker. It's not the default cross model anymore, to kind of make it more distinct from the wait, this is nether sprouts and these are warped. I don't know, to make it more distinct from these ones, and you know, so these ones are in like a little grid, like a little like crops, and then these ones are not. These ones are a cross, right? All right. Okay, and this is a perfect place to show it off, because this is a mangrove swamp next to a regular swamp. So I've, in the previous update, added a muddy, oh there you go, perfect, muddy pigs to swamps, right? Because they added muddy pigs, obviously, in Minecraft Earth. I also added variants with tulips on their heads, just like in Minecraft Earth, you know, make everything canon sort of thing. And then Minecraft went ahead and added mud. Turns out, though, the mud that they added, I think it's a good palette. I was kind of critical in the beginning. I was like, wait, this is mud? But then, you know, when you look at mud in real life, this is such a small warped or mangrove. All these biomes, man, all these trees. Yeah, I mean, when you look at regular mud, this is actually pretty accurate palette, I would say. And then I added, obviously, muddy pig variants for this palette in this biome, right? Just because I couldn't have them in brown here when the mud is gray, but I didn't want to have my muddy pigs, you know, with canon mud colors from Minecraft Earth in the swamps be gray. So that's, you know, I didn't want these to be brown and those to be gray, and now these are gray and those are brown. Does that make any sense? Right, moving on. After I spawned one with a tulip on its head. There you go, it's a baby with a tulip. Right, very cool. Ugh, it's kind of a big change. Gotta locate a biome. It's probably pretty far away. Mushroom fields. A lot of biome tweaks, huh? In this update, like a lot of detailing. It's cool. I like it. All right, here we are. So I added really cool CDM to red mushroom blocks, and I did. It's two CDM methods over each other. So it's a big CDM map, which just makes up, you know, these blocks, where these blocks all connect like this. You see the borders change. So it makes the mushrooms look a bit more rounded. And then the spots use a huge CTM repeated wrap. So it's just like a random texture every time, basically. It's like one big pattern that just repeats over and over again. It looks really good. So every mushroom side is very different. Has different spots all over, you know. This is very reminiscent of real mushrooms. Inspired by Minecraft Dungeons. Minecraft Dungeons has mushrooms kind of like structures, like really. I tried that, it worked, but then it didn't work. So now I went with this, which I think also works really well. And definitely looks better than, you know, default mushrooms. Oh yeah, and I changed the color of the inside of mushrooms a little bit. And then I added CDM to this block, this inside block, whatever this is. So now I think that just works better, because it's like one big structure now, you know. So it has like lines, right? You know, same for the stem. It just looks good. I think it's a good change. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. What can I say? What can I say? I like it a lot. Is that racist? Who knows? Ah, this is a fun one. This is one of my favorite changes. I mean, these are all my favorite changes. This is just a great pack update. This is just a great pack. There you go. But this is fucking awesome. I added some random LA variants, and this sort of shit makes you wonder why Mojang doesn't do this. Because they showed off concept arts. These palettes are fucking awesome, man. They showed off... I like this one so much. Look at that one. And the yellow one as well. Look at this one. How great is that? They showed off concept art of LAs, like what they were supposed to look like. And they weren't always going to look like this, but they showed off a version, a sheet with a bunch of colors of LAs. And why would you not add multiple colors of LAs, right? I mean, then you can assign different LAs to different tasks, you know? You can see them flying around. They have different colors in your base. Why not? Look at how fun these colors are, you know? Look at these guys. Why would you want these to be all blue, Mojang? You know what I mean? Give us options, you know? Fucking hell, look how cool these are. These is? Whatever. Look at how cool these are, right? Big LA change. Just fucking colorful variants. Hell yeah. This is what I'm about, man. Okay, so this is kind of a wild change. That's probably not... You're probably not going to notice this a lot. I'll just show it off here. The Drowned has variants already with a squid head on its well, squid on its head, right? Kind of like Davy Jones, and it also has some wild other variants that Minecraft Dungeons has. Yeah, so this is the regular squid variant, and now deep down in ocean biomes, and this is an ocean because we're under an ocean, cave under an ocean. Deep down, it'll also now rarely have a glow squid. There you go, glow squid variant, and I think that's cool, you know, because why not, right? I mean, this is just kind of cool. You can just imagine that you're in an underwater cave under an ocean, right? I mean, it's kind of rare, but then you suddenly see this guy. I mean, it's a surprise, right? Would it be a pleasant one? Maybe if it had a trident, it wouldn't even be a pleasant one, you know? Could kind of kill you, and it would feel like a boss, right? Like, what, this fucking guy? But then it's just a regular drowned variant. It just looks really cool. But, I don't know what that sound was. It's not just meh, that's cool. What the hell? Oh, look, it's a crimson biome. Well, so see, you can see these as well, right? They have the red dots still. It's such a, it's much better. I wonder why Mojang, if they have the choice to have two different palettes, why would you have them use the same colored dots, right? Have the variety, you know, set a vibe. And then yeah, these have the red spots still, which is kind of what they are in default, anyways. I added a variant for ghast in soul sand biomes, because obviously my ghasts are pretty big and horrendous. I mean, you can see them in this biome; they'll still be normal, I'm pretty sure, because this is just a different biome straight up, right? Yeah, see, they're red, and in the Soul Sand Valley, they're not very red. They're blue. And we'll see if we can get him to attack us, actually, so we can see his face. I don't know if it'll do it. Oftentimes we switch from creative to survival, doesn't really do it, but we can see if maybe this guy will do it. Yeah, there you go, he does it. Oh, guy, look at that. There you go. Blue flames, you know? Cool, right? Oh. All right. All right, guys. Oh. Oh no! Alright, that's what's bound to happen. I did some modeling on the monster spawner block. Is the next change on my change log, and I did. It's 3D now, you see that? You can see through the cage, so you can see the bottom of it, instead of it being curled out. Because there's two cubes going on, an inverted cube and a regular cube. And then it has 3D skulls, obviously. So, you know, just like a little change, I thought it deserved such a special block, you know. And after all the wild changes I've been doing in my pack, like, for example, the cartography table, which isn't even that special of a block, has such details, right, that I love, and I figured this spawner deserved some details, even though you rarely see it. So that's what I did. Okay, so I added a random variant of redstone lanterns that flicker occasionally. So this is a really rare variant. I think we got one right here. Yeah, there you go. It's a really rare variant, and it's a really quick effect, so it's super easy to miss. But I kind of like those changes, you know, like someone will be building, like, what the fuck, what's wrong with my lamp, you know? And then it's just this one random variant. I think it's this one, right? Is it this one? Yeah, there you go. It just flickers occasionally. There you go. Just like a little flicker. And then look how rare that is. Just, I like it, man. I like little Easter eggs that not everyone's gonna find, you know? I think it's really cool. Oh yeah, I added a fun little pixel swirl to most GUIs. And I'm not gonna show off all the GUIs. This is just kind of a dumb change. But my GUIs were already dark mode, and now they all have this little pixel, you know, design on it. All the GUIs. Not the creative one, actually. Not all of them. Most of them, anyways. You know, you fucking play with the pack. You get it. I'm not gonna show those off. That's lame as hell. Okay, I've made some tweaks to my grassy or my mossy plank texture. These are not really visual tweaks, just the way it renders, which does mean that these mossy variants of planks, which showed up previously in the previous update only in ocean biomes, which is not really meant for mine shafts. That was just kind of a side effect. The main purpose was shipwrecks, so I don't know if we can find one, but it'll look really cool if you find a shipwreck with this feature. Well, we can just locate one, right? Yeah, so see, in ocean biomes, that's why I did this change initially, just the moss. I think it's really like, you know, super aesthetic. But then I realized if you get a lush cave, you know, just because of the way I changed it, if you were to get a mine shaft in a lush cave, or if I just started placing a bunch of, you know, planks in a lush cave, or in a jungle or a mangrove swamp, so if you find only underground, so in mine shafts in those biomes, right, you'll find see the moss blocks as well. So now you just have like a little bit more variety. This happens for all planks, by the way. I mean, I don't know if it's all planks. Let's see if it's all planks. It might be all planks. It's definitely all planks that shipwrecks are made of. I mean, I don't know. You don't find out their colors. Mine shafts anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But oh yeah, it's all planks, see? So in certain biomes, they'll have moss now. That's cool, right? I think that's cool. Back to the warped forest, which is now gone completely purple, and look how this has turned green. The detail in the ground, which still matches this, which also means that the planks, the warped warped planks, and we'll need both of these for what I'm going to show you. Still works, you know, but because even now this is all purple now, this biome, because of the green details here, this palette still works, right? So this is really cleverly designed, so you can still, and this doesn't change color, the planks at all, you know, because it's kind of a man-made product. I figured it would lose its magic, right? So this doesn't change color at all. And also, I mean, the stem doesn't either, so you know, I guess the wood just doesn't. And then outside of the biome, it's still the same color again. Isn't that cool? I like that a lot. And what I did is I added, if you place crimson planks in this biome, in a warped biome, it'll obviously have the warped moss. And then in the crimson biomes, I mean, this is, I don't even need to show this off. You get it, you know. The contrast is pretty cool. It'll have moss on it, obviously, you know. I think the contrast is cool. I think it's a cool thing. Oh, I forgot about this change. I should totally show this off. This is so tiny, but I added super small CDM overlays to Shroomlight blocks. So, and that means that, yes, in the warped forest, it means that the overlay is animated. So much work for this little detail. But let's look at this. We'll put a Shroomlight right here. Like, let's say there's a Shroomlight generated here. Are you paying close attention? You look at the edge of this nether wart block, right? It'll get a little overlay. Sometimes you might even lose light. I guess you don't. You didn't lose light that time. But yeah, oh yeah, because it's a CDM overlay on top of another overlay. It's fine. So yeah, it gets a little overlay, so it just blends a little bit better into the texture. This is so dumb. It's like so minimal, but I love this sort of shit, man. I mean, oh, we're in a warp biome. How perfect. See? Boop. See the sides change? And this gets a bit darker. See that? It just makes it blend just a tiny little bit more. And maybe you only notice it subconsciously, but it just looks better. It does. I mean, you can't, you know, there's no way around it. It just looks better, so. Then I added magma CDM. To Netherrack, which I think just makes sense. I feel like everyone should do this, so probably in their pack, right? I mean, it'll sometimes even generate. Yeah, it's see the way it generated here. It's just cool. It kind of looks like Terraria. I don't like doing overlays too much. I normally like to define the edges of a block, but in this case, it seems so obvious, especially since Magma so obviously uses the Netherite palette, right? So it just seems like such an obvious, simple thing to do. Animated, you know, overlays from magma blocks to Netherrack. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool thing. So enjoy. Oh, this is another one of those favorite changes of mine. Dying. No. Oh fuck! Accidentally went to the Nether instead of giving myself night vision again. All right. Fucking. Oh, we can just go back. We don't have to kill ourselves. Not that it matters. We don't have night vision anyways. Night vision. Come on. I have it somewhere, right? Do you relate? Could have just typed it in easily now. But now I'm too committed to go back. It must be in there somewhere. No. There you go. Took us way too long to get it. We're gonna have to load a Bedrock Edition. So basically, Bedrock Edition has a skin creator, right? And the skin creator has a setting for mouths and eyes. And instead of painting your little skin like you would do in Java Edition, or you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can still upload a skin, but you also have a character creator, right? You can just, you know, choose and match eyes on top of a mouth, on top of a nose, or I don't know if there's a nose, but you could just make your little skin, right? Just by picking the little settings. And all my zombies, I added a lot of clothing variants for zombies, you know, like clothes variants for zombies, like different outfits from all over the Minecraft multiverse. But I never actually did anything but the faces. I mean, minimal amount, if I remember correctly. I mean, barely anything anyways. And now I've done a lot with the faces. There's a lot of variants. And they're all random mixes and matches of the faces in the character creator. It'll take me a while to run out of variations to add. It's not like these are literally random. Like there's no CDM or like there's no overlays for random mobs in Optifine or anything. Damn, Minecraft Bedrock takes a while to load, eh? Or maybe that's just me. This is a weird random thing, but does anyone ever like feel like Minecraft Bedrock is does feel kind of like plasticky? You know what I mean? It's really, Minecraft feels so smooth. Java Edition just feels so smooth to me. And maybe that's just like subtle shit that I just noticed because I'm used to Java Edition. Just because I'm used to it, you know, sort of thing. Or if Java Edition is actually smoother. But it just feels like Java Edition kind of feels like TF2, the way it plays. And then Bedrock Edition kind of feels like GTA 5, the way you walk and it handles, you know. Like GTA 5 is a brilliant game, but the walking is kind of like awkward, right? No? Maybe it's just me? Okay, let's go to the dressing room. I'll show you what I mean, where I got all the faces from. Oh, actually don't know how to do this. Oh yeah, I do. Look, I clicked the right body. So you go to style, then for my inspo, right? No, this body. There you go. You go to body, not style. Actually, take that back. Eyes. Look, this is where all the eyes come from that I added to my zombie variants. It's a lot of them. A lot of them are just like minor differences, like eyebrows, and my zombies don't really have eyebrows, so I didn't really have to factor them all in. But there's even one with one eye, you know. I mean, I guess I'll spawn a bunch. I'll just spawn a bunch. You can kind of see what I mean. All right, we're just gonna do it like this, so I can smoke a little joint, and we can just look at all the faces, right? Look at this. Look at all these funny faces. All these funny faces looking at you. Around me are all these funny faces. Funny faces. Funny faces. Worse than my Christmas song. Just saying. So yeah, zombies now have a bunch of funny faces, basically. Just random. Hey, it's Deadmau5. Deadmau5, however you say that name. I don't think anybody knows. Yeah. There's just a lot of faces, a lot of random variants, a lot of stuff going on. Can we find my zombie? Where's my zombie? I added a zombie with my skin, basically. But he doesn't have the cape, obviously, because I have the cape. Oh, there he is. Look at him. It's me. I accidentally pressed E instead of W. Does that happen to you? Like the video. Or else your mom will get kidnapped. Look, it's me, as a zombie. He even has my face. Oh no, I don't have a mouth, but he's gone into the crowd. He doesn't want to be on camera, alright. He's not like me at all in that way. So yeah, a bunch of zombie variants, man. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, this is kind of interesting. This is also kind of game changing because you actually find a lot of spiders. I added a Legend of the Chambered, which is that game I talked about earlier where I added a zombie variant from. Oh fuck, we gotta get away from this. This is terrible. We can't leave this running. I was just gonna walk away and leave this running. Shit, where is it? No, shit. Alright, shit. Alright, we got it. Alright. Alright, you guys will despawn at some point. Alright, I also there's some attention to the spider. It's not that many variants anyways. I previously already added the brown spider variant, because brown spiders used to be brown before they were made black, so I just figured, why not add a variant? Mojang. I'll just do it, and then there's a default one. And then, oh, it's a jockey, look at that, cool. He has a little armor. I guess the variant is pretty rare. There you go. Look at that. It's a Legend of the Chambered variant. The spiders in Legend of the Chambered had kind of these colored feet. They had a skull on the back of their butt, abdomen. And then they had the gray, like little pincers on the front. So they actually had blue eyes, but I'll keep them red, you know, for consistency. Now, so there's more variety to your spiders. Like, why not? This is kind of cool, right? I mean, it's just a generally a cool design. The skull on the back of a spider, love me some of that. Not very creative, like many people walk with the tattoos of that walking around, probably. But yeah, I added it as a random variant, spider variant, so cool. But anyways, Notch once made a bat for a game, and it kind of had this palette. Well, this is a better palette, but it kind of had this color, you know. And so, oh, I'll spawn one upside down. Can I do that? Oh, but they won't hang on leaves. Okay, look at this. Oh, I thought that worked. Why does that not work? I thought you could always spawn them upside down like that. That was such a cool feature. Oh, fuck that. All right. Well, you can see they're brown and sometimes they're black. You know, they just have variants. It's cool. You know, it's a good thing. This is kind of a dumb change. This is super useless, but I found a pink tulip in Minecraft Dungeon Files, and it was like really pink, like pinker than this. So I just added the pink tulip variant, and then I realized that makes so much sense also because tulips come in so many shapes and sizes, and it's just called pink tulip. So why not have random variants with this using this tulip color? This very pink. This is a new variant I added. So simple thing to add a tulip variant. It's like it's barely makes a difference. Barely default though, right? I mean, sure, it's on brand, I guess. You know, maybe. And but it's cool. I don't know. Let's get the pack. You know, you'll get used to this sort of stuff, and then play without my pack one day and be like, damn, I don't want to play without barely default anymore. And that's when I got you. That's when it's too late. We're almost done here. I changed the grass model a bit. I made it much more random, first of all. We should go to a biome where there's more grass. Well, can we go to a forest? Yeah, there you go. See the beautiful golden birch trees? I actually love this color. I wouldn't change this color. I might change the pink ones and the red ones. We'll see. Yeah, I changed the grass model. You can barely see it because it did some clever texture work, but it actually uses extra panels, 2 extra panels, I'm pretty sure, than the regular cross model. It just looks a bit fuller, a bit thicker, and because of the texture, it's a pretty big texture. It's all rotated around. It looks very random. It's much more random than the regular grass was. We'll go to a biome where there's a lot of grass, right? It's like a located biome, savanna probably. Savanna would have a lot of grass, right? Does that make sense? I think it does. There you go. Savannah has a lot of grass. Yeah, see, it's a little bit more. I don't know. I like it. It's a little bit more distinct. There's more separation in like each grass sprout, or what's it called? Like a grass blade, a blade of blade. Cool word. You know, I'm not a native English speaker, so it's a good thing that I remembered that. Yeah, so each blade of grass is more distinct because I basically separate the grass texture into more planes. That's kind of what I did. I took the default grass texture and I looked at where the grass blades were and I just ripped them apart, put them on more planes than just 2 repeated. And now you have just the same blades of grass basically, but more spaced out, and it looks so much better. It's a little change. You might not even notice that it's changed in the pack, but it's I think it's one of those things just undeniably better. So, and then the last change is not like, it's not like we saved the best for last or whatever. Yeah, oh. Alright, not an instant teleport. Do you like my loading screens? I love them. Changing dimensions, so cool, right? Yeah, I added a random endstone variant, so there's just like a little bit of separation in the terrain. You see that? This is just a little bit of variety. Yeah. And that's it, folks. That's it. That's the pack update. We're in the end. I hate the end. It's not a nice aesthetic. Oh, we can look at our Ender Dragon though. Ender Dragon's cool, right? Look at this. It's a cool model. Look at him. Wow. Well, we won't be ending our video on that bad of a note if we got this Ender Dragon, right? Fly along with in creative mode. Look at this. Cool model. It's kind of like an Ender Weavern, right? Because it doesn't have front legs. So yeah, get the pack. Get the pack. New pack update. Pack update video. I love doing these videos. Tell your friends I've done one of them. Again, you know, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more of them. They'll be coming. Because I love updating my pack. I think it's really cool. Where's this dragon? Can you just kind of fly into my frame? There you go. Hello. And yeah, see you next video. And watch my vlogs. I do a lot of life updates, personal updates, podcasts with cool people, interesting conversations. You really get to know me, and it's quite a life I've led. You can kind of take me as an example, maybe a bad example, or but you know, or some lessons I've learned. You know, maybe you can hear from them, or just I don't know. I've got some interesting perspectives. Ooh, that's probably how people actually fight the dragon, right? Time it perfectly when it flies by an end crystal. I don't really know. Speedrunners probably do that, right? Kind of crazy like that. Anyways, thanks for watching again, and bye.